Bray Wyatt. He changes his name on Twitter and gets very cryptic about it, posting circles, drawings, sketches. What's on his mind? Who knows? We're going to jump into that. Pat McAfee is in talks with Amazon for an NFL deal. Roman Reigns is still headlining WrestleMania Backlash. Vince McMahon has his own $1 billion bill, and more updates on AEW's video game coming for consoles later this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We're going to jump into that and more in today's edition of the Top Story. Smash that like button right now.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Watch out, watch out, watch out. When I say watch, you say out. Watch.
Out.
Watch.
Out.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Top Story here on Sports Keto Wrestling. I'm Jose G. We got Jeremy Bennett here. We're about to talk about the toppest and hottest headlines of the day. Kevin McCallum will be joining us here in just a short bit. He's having some technical difficulties, but as always, guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you. And you can show us the love by smashing and slamming that like button. So do that right now. I see 166 of you right now watching live. So go ahead and slam that like button. Engage with the show. Fire off your thumbs up, your love emojis, your anger emojis, your laugh emojis. The more engagement we get with you or from you, that means a lot more people get to watch it. So go ahead and do that right now. Share in your favorite wrestling group if you're watching on Facebook. And if you're watching us on the good old YouTubes, thank you so much. We're on our way to 29,000 subscribers. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by smashing that notification bell so you never miss whenever we drop brand new content. Yesterday, we had an amazing 420 episode, and you had quite the eventful evening, didn't you, Jeremy?
Yeah, Jesus. Last minute, I found a 7th row ticket for Snoop Dogg for $120. I was like, well, I guess that's my sign. It was not going to get any better than that. Row G, by the way, row G for a Snoop Dogg concert.
It's like it was meant for you to be there. That's all I can say about that. And it was meant for you to be there. I'm glad you had an awesome time. We got the Watch Out Army in watching us right now in the chat. So we appreciate all of you. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's jump into our top story today, our big lead story. And that has to do with Bray Wyatt. Now, Bray Wyatt's been known for, just being cryptic in general ever since he left WWE a little bit over a year ago. We've had several updates on Bray Wyatt. He's been working in Hollywood in the movie studio on the Warner Brothers movie lot. He's been doing stuff outside of wrestling. He was recently at WrestleCon. And we really didn't hear anything of him, no new updates until today, where he changes his name to a circle and he adds some outlandish and somewhat cult-like sketches, right, Jeremy? What's going on here?
I don't know what's going on with that sketch. That there's a lot going on in that thing. He posted a few tweets here this morning, and he says, I do think it's true that he who makes a beast of himself gets rid of the pain of being a man, but if you become the machine, you don't have to feel it all to be sentient.
What does that even mean? What does that mean, Jeremy?
It's probably something to do with his new movie, I'm guessing, but I have no idea.
That was my first thought. Like, this has to do something with his movie, something cryptic where it ties into either a character of a movie or something relating to his movie. That was my initial thought. I could be 100% wrong on that, but it's just been very interesting, the response from people that's been seeing all his texts and his cryptic tweets.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, obviously, every time he talks, people are like, oh, he's coming back. Well, no, he hasn't come back yet. And we really had zero news from WrestleMania weekend about his WrestleCon appearance. So there wasn't really much to report on, apparently, there. I was kind of surprised. I didn't see much really pop out from that from that weekend. Of course, it was a busy weekend for all of us involved, so maybe I did miss
Yeah.
something, but
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
remember coming across anything though.
Yeah, no, and just to kind of show you guys what we're talking about, these cryptic tweets, you guys can see right here. He changed his profile picture. Not quite exactly sure what that might be. Right over here, and then as you guys can see, his screen name now is a red ring circle. And then if you scroll down, you can start seeing these cryptic tweets. You got to be sentient, but if you become the machine, you don't have to feel at all. What if? So I mean, look at that drawing. That is kind of disturbing. Very future demonic cultalistic type of drawing. I don't know. It's very surreal. It's I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird how he does this. And we got Kevin back. Finally, hopefully he can hear us and he can give us some insight onto what he thinks is going on here with Bray Wyatt. You want to chime in on here, Kevin?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, perfectly.
All right, good. It's a weird thing. What's the play here? What's the long-term play? Is this just another cryptic move by the man to, get people paying attention to what he's doing next? That's what I think it is. This is just moving the needle. This is just not letting people forget who he is.
I think so. But I also kind of have the feeling that this might, again, I might be 100% wrong on this, but it almost feels like it might be something with his movie, right? Like it might be something to plug his movie or mention his movie or give a little hint of what his movie is about. That could very well be possible, but I just have no idea.
Yeah, it's hard telling. Hard telling with him any day of the week, let alone today. But yeah, it's really up for interpretation, as they say.
Everything with him is up for interpretation. That's what he wants.
We got the Watch Out Army watching us on Facebook and on YouTube. Brad Nathan's saying he's a revolutionary. People, Ricky Castillo, people dig way too deep into stuff when it means nothing. Brad Nathan's, he's smart when talking matches, makes him more unique. So red circle gets the square. Hollywood Squares is back.
I would like that. That'd be great. Bring that baby back.
Joseph Ramsey saying the new horror movie coming out. I don't know. We don't know. It's all very cryptic. It's all very out there. But certainly it's been very interesting these last few hours, just kind of getting the response from social media.
And people just want the Fiend back. I see comments about the Fiend. People, they want that Fiend. Newer fans, I don't think there's a character that people imagination got that invested into what he could do, or, I want them to do this. I've never heard more fantasy booking with a new wrestling character in the last 10 years than I've heard with the Fiend.
Oh yeah, no, the Fiend, that character is definitely big time over from a marketability standpoint, from the fan standpoint. He had one of the biggest merch sales in a long time during his run. So the character itself was very, very profitable for WWE. It's a shame that we don't have him anymore.
If you're digging this conversation about the Fiend, go seek out our interview. Just search on YouTube, Sportskeeda Wrestling Turnbuckles. We got to interview the guys of the Turnbuckles podcast, all former WWE writers, including John Ryman, who said every writer wanted to do something with the Fiend. Every single writer had an idea.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, the guy is just absolutely great at what he does creatively.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree, man. And people saying not to the WWE. Here's the thing. I don't know if it means as much if he does it anywhere but the WWE, if he wrestles, because he can't be the Fiend. I think
you're absolutely right. Yeah.
He can't be the Fiend. He likely won't own that mask.
He can't be the Fiend, but he could be his own creation.
Yes, but the thing is, you're going to get something else. So if you're on board with just this guy and you think he's a creative guy and you're going to roll with him, fine. But the thing is, people love the Fiend, just like people love Batman. They're going to go see the new Batman movie. And I don't say that to like aggravate anybody, but I'm saying it won't. I'm not saying it won't be fun or interesting or engaging or entertaining or worth your money. It just won't be the Fiend.
Yeah, no, I think there's some truth to that, to be honest, and people may not like it, but the fact of the matter is he built his reputation and career in WWE. The only thing that makes sense from his standpoint, now that he's created that persona and that character to such a point where people are craving him, I think WWE is the place that makes most sense. To Jeremy's comment, I think you are absolutely right about that too. I mean, look what Malachi Black was able to do in AEW. So, I think the question here is what's going to make Bray Wyatt more money. So we'll find out in due time. Exactly. We'll find out in due time. David Stamson watching on Facebook. My question of the day, I'd love to watch this segment, but I don't always get to see it live. When I go to look for it on Sportskeeda YouTube page, I can't find them. Is this segment posted somewhere else online, or are they only available live? Well, you can watch the show live every afternoon between 6 and 6:30 or 6:30 to 7. And then it is available on Facebook. It's available on YouTube. So you can make sure as soon as it's done, it should be available immediately after. So you can watch it on demand, both on Facebook and on YouTube. So thanks for that, David.
And we put the audio podcast usually up within like the next hour or two. So if you're just an audio person, that's available to you as well. That's on Apple, that's on Spotify, that's on iHeartRadio, that's on all the different audio podcast apps. That same feed too for the podcast feed. Some people are confused. You get Vince Russo every Monday night after Raw, and you get Dutch Mantel, and that same feed. All of our interviews, we drop everything on there. So it's not any different. I think with people looking up YouTube stuff, there is a little bit of an algorithm thing when you do a live video. It doesn't come in your same like
immediately.
Uploads.
It doesn't come immediately. Yeah.
It's just an algorithm thing. It's very weird. It's always been that way. Maybe it's because they have like 1 billion hours of video going on the website every 5 seconds.
The best thing I could recommend to you, it would be to make sure you smash that notification bell so you don't miss when we never go live. All right. That's really important. And go ahead and smash that like button right now to everyone that's watching live. Let's jump into our next story.
The guys on Facebook can do that too, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It'll pop up on your phone or in your notifications when we're live.
Exactly.
Too.
Go ahead and do that now. Let's jump into our next big story here. New Japan, AEW, big announcement last night during Dynamite, changing the game again. They have announced the Forbidden Door, presented by All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling, coming down the street to Kevin Kellum in Chicago at the United Center in June. This is massive news for the hardcore wrestling fans. I want to get your take on this, Kevin, because we've been talking about this for several days now, and I think this is tremendous for AEW's hardcore fan base.
So I worked, to be clear, and I've said this before, I worked in a marketing role for New Japan Pro Wrestling of America on Saturday. And there were some people who said, yeah, there is something in the works, but I can't tell you work for Sportskeeda. So they were very, very clear about it.
Come on.
I did some more digging, and somebody who is closer to me or the realm of work that I'm in was like, and they were not in wrestling media. All right. They said it looks like United Center, because this date has been blocked out at the United Center, and they had a load-in date as well. So there was possibility of them doing load-in. So I was like, ooh, if that's possible, then they need a production element to it. It's a concert then, or it's this. So I did some digging with the United Center people, and I kind of found that out. That isn't anyone that worked at the United Center, by the way. I don't want to get anyone in trouble there. So I kind of knew it was going in this direction, specifically also because there's an issue with the Wintrust Arena. So the scale of what they're going for here is huge. This arena is nearly as big as the Madison Square Garden that they could run. And so this will be the biggest New Japan show of all time in the United States. And this will be one of the biggest All Elite Wrestling shows of all time. I'll say that for them, for their brand, for what they want to do, for the scale they want to run it. You're talking 22,000 people in the third largest city in North America. That is massive. That is a massive undertaking. And they're going to do this June 26th. Tickets will go on sale May 6th. There's already fantasy booking through the roof. I've had more texts about people fantasy booking matches than I've ever seen before. This is DC versus Marvel. This is a cross-promotional show. It looks like that's what they're presenting. Now, are we going to get matches?
I don't know if I want to call this DC versus Marvel, because, I mean, WWE is the titan here, right?
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand, but I don't know if I want to make that analogy, because
it's Avengers versus X-Men. How about that? Is that fair?
Okay, yeah, it's the same universe. That works. That works.
So,
sorry for being nitpicky.
No. You got those tweezers out. Where are the tweezers? Get them tweezers out. We should be selling red and white tweezers. The SK. But so talking to people about it, the amount of money they could do here. Oh, hang on, I gotta stop here. Look at that guy. I gotta talk about him right there. That is guy. Jay Feliciano. Jay Feliciano is literally one of the best wrestling production people I've ever met in my entire life. He did such a great job at New Japan America. He brought in literally a who's who of independent wrestling secondary people, like secondary production people, marketing people, promotions people, and put this team together. in like 2 or 3 weeks. And it was really, really impressive. And I credit to you, Jay. You're absolutely fantastic at what you do. Maybe we get to do some more work together in the future. That'd be really great as well. If you ever want to put an event together, not just wrestling, a convention, he's your guy. He is your guy. In terms of sports events, he's the guy. So he was saying that this would be a big deal as well. I was talking to him about this, and this is before we even knew any of the details about it. So I think this is one of the biggest wrestling shows of the year. I would put this up there in the realm of Royal Rumble or WrestleMania in terms of what fans should look forward to and what you should expect. I'm almost anticipating this a little bit more than Double or Nothing because it's just the first time they've ever done something like this.
Yeah.
We've seen New Japan talent in AEW. That isn't a completely new thing. But if we're getting cross-branded matches, if we're getting an Okada versus a CM Punk, if we're getting an Okada versus a Bryan Danielson, a Hangman Page versus a Tanahashi,
that's a huge deal. That's a huge
if we're getting a world champion from IWGP versus the AEW world, that's a big deal. That like they've never done something like that. They've done stuff like that in Japan, but never here in the United States. This is the most formidable thing that New Japan has ever done in the United States, and this is huge for them. I think they benefit a little bit more.
It's almost like the territories again, but at a global scale, right?
Yeah, and this is also great for AEW. They're going to run a major arena. They're going to run one of the biggest arenas in the United States.
And I think I think one of the co-main events is probably, I think it's been telegraphed earlier this month or last month. I'm sorry. Earlier last month, Kazuchika Okada was interviewed and says he wants to face Bryan Danielson. So
and they brought like you had Punk bringing up United Center and like a tweet back and forth with Okada, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you go a triple threat? Do you do a multi-man match? The
possibilities are endless at this point.
The possibilities are endless. I do think there's going to be some big name that's left off this show. So that's something you have to think
there's only so much room.
There's only so much room.
That's true.
It's also the show starts at 6 p.m.
But I mean, you have a buy-in, so you could have a casino.
So are they going to run a 6-hour show? Are they going to run a 6.5-hour show until midnight?
Doors are at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. Central. That's 7 p.m.
This is going to be WrestleMania 35.
Is that the buy-in? Is that the buy-in at 6?
Show. They just say doors open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m.
I bet that's the buy-in. I bet the buy-ins.
We don't know.
Even still, if it's the buy-in, let's just assume that the buy-in starts at 6 p.m. It's a 2-hour buy-in, and then show starts at 8. 4 hours. That's still 6 hours. I mean, that's a long ass show.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, you know how Japan does it. They do a lot of those multi-man matches, so you'll probably see a lot of those.
Oh yeah.
But you could also do a casino battle royal too.
Yeah. Bradford is texting with this one as well. This is a show that calls for that. Like if you want to get a Colt Cabana in there with a Toru Yano to do something goofy, you want to get a Danhausen in there. You want to get your lower card fun characters who move T-shirts and are cool, but are comedy characters. This is where you would put them. You want to get a Yuji Nagata, like a legendary guy who maybe isn't up on the top of the card. This is where you would put him. You want to do something crazy and have Great Muta come out like they did at Madison Square Garden. This is where you would have him come out. Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is in talks for a massive deal. He is the color commentary voice of SmackDown and become a new beloved celebrity figure within wrestling. They really have embraced him in the WWE universe, and he's become a big star for the WWE, getting to have a match with an angle with Austin Theory and Vince McMahon, taking stunners from Stone Cold, and also hosting one of the biggest sports talk shows in the country on his own Pat McAfee show. Now, he has revealed today on his show that he is indeed in talks to potentially be part of Amazon's streaming deal with the NFL for Thursday night games that are coming up here. Pat didn't confirm whether or not he's on there. He did say he isn't interested exactly in a color commentary role. So this is Thursday nights. He's doing SmackDown on Friday. Does this lessen his role with the WWE? Obviously, I think that's the first thing that wrestling.
No, it won't.
He has a multi-year contract with WWE, so he's still going to be under contract.
Yeah, he's just gonna add more miles on the private jet.
Go ahead, go ahead, Jeremy.
I was gonna say my some changes with my work. I've been able to actually have watch the show live now every day, and a tremendous show that it is on the Pat McAfee show, and actually get to kind of pay attention a little bit to it. And it's very exciting. I would assume it could be sideline reporter, maybe something like that, because you're going to have Joe and Troy do the play-by-play. So I believe, aren't they? Or did they go to Monday Night Football?
I don't watch NFL like that, so I don't know.
Come on, dude. I watch wrestling.
I know Joe and Troy left Fox.
Like that.
No, Joe and
Get that clip.
yeah, I know Joe and Troy left Fox for somewhere. I can't remember if it was Monday night. I don't think it's Monday Night Football. I think they left for the Amazon thing. But anyways, Pat McAfee currently in talks with Amazon to contribute, which I would believe probably to be a sideline reporter. This begins in the fall. According to the New York Post. There were talks of also bringing the Pat McAfee show over to Amazon Prime Video. So right now it's currently airs on YouTube and also Sirius XM. So that'd be another big acquisition in the portfolio for Pat McAfee as well. And it is those guys are Monday Night Football. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit are going to be doing the Thursday Night Football call.
I'll tell you guys, Pat McAfee is absolutely killing it business-wise, dude. He's got the contract with the WWE. He's got that contract and that FanDuel deal, right?
One of the biggest sports media deals of all time.
120 million.
Huge. I'm going to take time to speak to the athletes and that are watching the show right now or any former athletes. This is what you do post-career. This is how you build wealth. This is how you become successful. This is how you take care of yourself after you're done with your sports career. You see so many of these athletes, wrestlers
but he's
included,
an exception.
football.
Jose, Pat's an exception.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But they can take a page out of his book. They can take a page out of his book and learn to do what he's doing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he retired at 28, which
Look
is
at
insane.
That. How old is he now? He's not even 40, right?
I think he's 33. Oh yeah, he was at the top of his game, but he
makes you feel like you got to do something with your life. Real quick.
He was at the top of his game.
Take a page out of his book.
He was at the top of his game when he retired, but at the same time, he was having nagging knee issues as well. And so, and then he went to Barstool Sports, started churning that brand, and then all of a sudden, you just see everything. Everybody wants a piece of him now.
So I guess the lesson at hand is get a deal with Barstool Sports, and then you're
right. Yeah, I believe that was his immediate move after his NFL career. I think it was his immediate move was joining them.
Hey, here's a shocker. Roman Reigns is going to main event a WWE pay-per-view.
What?
No way.
The undisputed champion of the undisputed champion of WWE. He holds both the Universal and the WWE Championship after a dominating victory over Brock Lesnar, which was a better match, by the way. I rewatched it. I thought that was a better match seeing it not live than when I saw it live. I thought that was a better match on video than it was in person. I don't know why. He will headline the upcoming Backlash pay-per-view. WWE smart. He's a bankable superstar. People are interested in everything that he does right now, and he's more compelling than he's ever been.
Oh, I completely agree with that. I think Roman Reigns is the GOAT right now at this very moment in time. I mean, we are witnessing greatness as we speak. I mean, we haven't seen a champion been this dominant in over 30 years, and now he is the undisputed champion of the company. I was a little bit worried because Roman wasn't really featured in the last episode of SmackDown, and we didn't get any follow-up with him and Shinsuke. But I have the feeling, and I think I read in the report, I think that's going to be the way to build it up this Friday, that they're going to do some type of segment with him and Shinsuke.
Yeah, they still have a couple weeks to go yet too. So I think they have 3 SmackDowns left before they get to Backlash. So they got time to do something. And this was already built in anyways. They already started sowing the seeds with the attack, but this was already built in. He was supposed to have that chance a couple years ago, and he didn't get it for whatever reason happened. And so you could afford it. In this case, you could afford to take a week off from that story and then get back at it this week.
This is Chris Aldridge. I heard there's a possibility he won't lose the title until WrestleMania 40. Is this something where just because you got over the hill of WrestleMania, the mountain rather, now you got to get me over another hill, for lack of a better phrase, another pay-per-view where Roman Reigns has the title and gets past somebody? This has been going on a long time. And I bring this up in the sense of, I don't say that because it's been going on, it's, to some people it's boring, right?
Yeah.
But is just him being the champion boring? I'm not saying he's boring, but it's like, at some point, it's like, are you going too long? How long can you keep this going? I'll be frank. I don't think they can keep the title on him until WrestleMania in Los Angeles next year without
run out of
losing some interest in it. And that's no rip at him. He's done a great job, but it's just natural. You produce so much television content. both on your weekly episodic TV, your big pay-per-view events, your live events that fans bought tickets to. There's some people probably bought tickets to a couple of house shows and saw him as their champion, and also it's also worth noting for the roster. Like, what does this say to the roster? Can we do this with anyone else? I think for your television partners, they love it because they know this is a bankable guy, right? To your diehard P1 audience, your primary fans, is there a little bit of a burnout? I wouldn't say it's there, but talk to me in a couple of months.
I don't think so, because look at NXT UK, they hardly ever have a champion like this. Granted, I think a lot of people
they don't run at this scale.
A lot of people,
it's a completely different animal.
A lot of people look at the Attitude Era where the title hopped so damn frequently. They're not used to when Hogan held it for 1,300 days in the 80s. And
Ricky in the chat not liking Roman Reigns, saying his matches are boring. I don't agree. I think he's more this style, this in-ring style, the power-based striking style that he has, and the personality that he has is so much more it's so much more in tune together than him wrestling basically a heel wrestling style as a big muscled up power driven by power, everything striking, explosiveness, all those different things that lends itself to a heel, then because he was wrestling like a heel physically, but then having to be a babyface personality, it just didn't work. Now it works.
I'll tell you what, though, the fact that he has both belts now could stretch that up to 40, because now you have a whole new brand of people he has not feuded with.
I was just about to bring that up, Jeremy, and I think because I was gonna be like, I think that is a very good possibility that he could keep it until 40, because now he has the entire Raw roster that he can do something with, right?
Yeah,
he can do something with NXT if he wants to do something with NXT. I think there's plenty of material that you can write. Him now being the undisputed champion.
I'll tell you what, if NXT continues to go into the 500,000 range, don't be surprised if the Bloodline shows up. And man, how fun would it be to have like the Bloodline take on Legado or something like that, man?
All Bloodline controls all of the Bloodline.
We're going to unify those NXT titles.
You got heels that are the top. You got
the Adawahi family must own all of the gold.
You got heels that are leading the company in merchandise sales, people.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if they pulled that trigger if their ratings continue to suffer on Tuesdays.
It's definitely a different paradigm.
Shout out to Kim Peters, who's watching in the Philippines. Thank you guys so much. We have a lot of international fans. Shout out to the fans keeping us on the charts in Pakistan. Number 2.
Kev's running for mayor in the Philippines here eventually. Running for mayor of Manila.
There you go. I'm running for the mayor of Manila, one of the biggest cities in the world. I think I'll win it. I think it'll be easy. So it'll be easy. I'll just call up some big celebrities and get some endorsements, WWE announces new collectible $1 billion bill featuring Vince McMahon. I've never seen more butthurt people on the internet about something that is so clearly a silly piece of merchandise. It's just a fun, silly thing. Look at that. It's a t-shirt, Vince McMahon with all of his money because he's Mr. McMahon. And then you get a collectible, not real. It's not an actual piece of currency. It's a $1 billion bill with Vince on the cover. And then on the back, you have the Titan Towers there, the WWE headquarters. I think this is hilarious. There's some people who are so mad about this. And I was like, you take yourself so seriously. But people got mad. You are showing your ass, dude. You are showing your ass.
I love the fact that we have a $1 billion bill with Vincent Kennedy McMahon being featured on the front, right? And then you have the Titan Towers in the back. I mean, look,
that back looks good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the back looks good.
And then if you look at the spelling at the bottom, in Inferna nulla fortuna, in Inferno will be fortune. That's in Latin. So all the little intricacies here, the Stanford Connect, all the little things, I think this is awesome. If you're a big time memorabilia collector, I think this is a cool thing to have. The t-shirt and the $1 billion bill is $99 on the www.shop.com website. So for all the haters,
$100 for a t-shirt
and a $1 billion bill. So you can be a billionaire for $100.
So you got the item, and this is so carny. This is so like corporate carnyism, and I mean that in the right way. Also, it's not a bad looking shirt either. It's a pretty silly design. It's fun and it's over. It reminds me of those like 80s VHS covers, like the way they would do like the embossed painting and stuff like that.
We just need a tiger. We just need somebody riding
And
a
an
tiger
explosion.
on a lightning with explosions in the background.
And like someone just posing like He-Man above him. Like it's just
Oh
ridiculous.
my god, that would be the best. Holding the sword and just let the lightning bolt hit the sword. Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, it'd be pretty ridiculous. That's actually a cool looking shirt. This is a fun idea. $100. I don't know if I'd buy it, for $100. But what is worth $100? I've sold some wrestling merch for like $100 because somebody really wanted it from me, So I mean, I get it. Some people want that. Ruben Draper saying Vince is the lion of the wrestling world. He's the king of the wrestling jungle. Bradford saying he's a wrestling god. He's God. But also for people are going to buy this. There's gonna be a lot of people that buy that. They go to every WrestleMania that are just big fans that love the collectibles. They're gonna lose their mind over that.
All right, guys, let's jump into our last story, and this story is in Jeremy's world. The AEW has announced the name for the upcoming AEW game that's going to be hitting consoles, Xbox One, PS5, and 4 here in the near future. We got a little report. Jeremy, give us a scoop here, man.
Fight Forever, one of the famous chants from the wrestling fans for a match that they do not want to see end, is going to be the title of the AEW video game. AEW Fight Forever is going to be coming out here. Word is possibly the end of September. And they actually, there was word from many in attendance last night in Pittsburgh that they actually recorded crowd audio for the game, had them do some specific chants and stuff. That's some pretty cool stuff. I've actually had my hand on that similar type of thing. When I worked with EA Sports, I was went on the field and I was on the sidelines with a microphone for the whole game, recording game audio. So that stuff is pretty cool, and pretty cool that the Pittsburgh crowd got to witness that last night as well. But it's still set for hopefully in September by Ukes. And of course, everybody knows Ukes and is excited for their return to pro wrestling.
I don't think there's ever been any more pressure on a wrestling product. That we saw this with WWE 2K22, which came out and got, I think, fairly strong reviews. People just wanted a good game after the 2020 game.
Yeah, they said, it got like 30 points higher than 20. So,
and I've also talked to people who've played the game since they added patches to it, and they said it gets better. The more you play it, the more you enjoy it. Now there's pressure on AEW though, because it's that audience loves video games. And also wants a product that they can say is better than WWE. If they put out a game that's comparable, I think that's a win for them.
At least it's a company that's been there several times.
Yeah,
with many games. So
and you're working with a company that did a bunch of WWE games. It's in strong hands. But if it's bad, it's a hit. It's just a bad hit because it's worth noting All Elite Wrestling put a lot of their own money into developing the game before they even brought in Ukes. So they put in millions of dollars into this game. That was publicly stated by Tony Khan. You can find the quotes. Like, they put a lot of money into this. In terms of a product outside of the television, the television flow, what they're doing, they've never spent more money on something. So this is, for lack of a better phrase, one of their biggest bets. Not just a talent, but a product they want to put out that they think their fans are really going to lose their mind on. And I think it's a good bet. Good time to get it out before Christmas. Good time to put it out in September. People hear the game is good. And then, all right, now I'm going to get it before Christmas or somebody that I know if I haven't gotten it already. So good on them. Good on them. Chris Aldridge saying, great show, guys. Enjoy wrestling. Thank you so much. Thank you all the diehards. I see people who are with us and spend hours with us every single week. I don't take that for granted. To the people that are joining for the first time, Kim saying he enjoys every news article and piece that we have. Sportskeeda overseas, man. People love us. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. We know that WrestleMania was crazy. We saw some numbers that we got from WrestleMania on the website. They were absolutely fantastic. You guys were great, sharing articles like crazy. Hey, I know that we're not Vince Russo or Dutch Mantel, and they are the pivots of our brand, video wise and audio wise, on Mondays and Fridays. But if you ride with a top story 5 days a week, we love you. We love you a whole lot.
And we've got an apter in our pocket too. Sometimes
we have
That's
Bill.
right.
We're gonna pull the Bill switch sooner than later here.
Yeah, we got an apter switch to flip, and listen to the Watch Out Army. We love you. Thank you for showing all the support every single day. You guys are here. We appreciate you. Love you. Make sure you share the content with your friends, with your favorite wrestling group. And we love you. But guys, let's get out of here. I got out of here.
You can check out Jose G on Weekends of Wrestling Thursday nights, Greg, correct?
Yeah, tonight we're not having a show because I have to go pick up my wife from the airport.
Better do that. Better do that.
I think that
Hey, I can't pick you up. I got to talk about the slams.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that takes precedence over, talking about wrestling. But next week
just
I'll be back
in. Jose's in the doghouse.
Oh boy.
He just did the Bill Apter elimination.
He just did the bill after the old Apollo theater hook. Just get him out of there.
That's right.
All right. You can also check out Jeremy over on Believe Wrestling, covering NXT every Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. Believe, BLEAV in pro wrestling. Myself, Rick Uccino, going to talk about NXT, set the table for AEW, talk about any other big topics. We talked about our favorite Randy Orton moments of all time, as well as thoughts on what happened on Tuesday. A lot had happened. A pretty decent show as well. That is live every Wednesday morning.
I am on air, Rock Radio in Rockford, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois. You can hear me on 104.9 The X in Rockford, streaming everywhere in the world at thexrockford.com. We're also on the Odyssey app, and we're giving away tickets for the WWE Saturday Night's main event, May 21st at the BMO Harris Bank Center in Rockford, Illinois. You can win them at our website, thexrockford.com. Plugs aside, watch out. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. I'm here. I'm hooked.
We love you.
Samson. We're going to put you right in there. There we go. You're handsome devils. All right. Thank you guys so much. Remember, when watching wrestling, do the most important thing. Please take a deep breath. Don't get mad that Vince McMahon is selling $1 for $100. No.
It's $1 billion for $100.
You're selling a fake $1 billion.
Get it right. Get it right, you son of a... Yeah, we don't enjoy wrestling. We're doing sports entertainment. Sports entertainment. We make movies, pal.
It's called sports entertainment. Get it right.
Thanks, Johnny.
You'll be future endeavored.
Thank you, Johnny. That's a very good job. We got to utilize this, Johnny.
Oh, I busted that out during my run-in with True Heel Heat on Monday Night Raw after Mania. Man, it was it was one of the guys was doing Macho. It was like Macho Man and Johnny Ace show. It was tremendous. People power.
There we go. Thank you, guys. Remember, when watching wrestling, enjoy wrestling.
Yeah.
Acknowledge us.
Let me talk.
Watch out.